I want to share with you now another person who is with us today, and her name is Kathy, and she's with the program called Walkabout International, a very exciting program that also has to deal with exercise, but on a totally different level. Kathy, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Rita.
I'm really glad you're here. I have heard about this program for at least about, I'd say a year and a half, 2 years. It's kind of one of those things that I have on my list of someday I'm going to do that. Have many people who've joined that program said that?
Oh, definitely. There's always people who have read about it and said, gee, someday I'm going to do that. In fact, even myself, I had heard about Walkabout for about 2 years before I started with them.
Why do people do that?
You have things going in your life, and for some reason or
so.
another you don't. And it's, for this, even for me, it means making time to go out and take a walk.
And take a walk. Well, tell us a little bit about how either Walkabout began and then how you got into it.
Walkabout began about 7 years ago when a couple moved here. They were regular walkers and missed walking, and they thought, oh, if we enjoy walking, why wouldn't everybody else enjoy? So Larry and Gail put an ad in the paper and invited people who wanted to walk with them to come out and walk. And about 6 people showed up, and from there it grew to 1 walk a month. And pretty soon they had 4 and 5 walks a month, and now we have over 100 walks a month.
Oh my God, I know you have a flyer here that I've seen for the whole entire month that offers walks every single day of the week for the whole entire month. And we're talking early bird walks at 5:30 in the morning, to afternoon walks, to evening walks with searchlights, with bringing your lunch also on the walks. And of course there's intermediate, there's advanced, and also beginning walks. Now you brought with us some props too. How would I recognize someone from Walkabout International? Well, first of all, I'd probably see a flag. I understand you have a
Right, we have a flag.
Let's see what that looks
She's
like.
asked me to bring that in. This is our little trademark.
That's cute.
That's what we've been, our big foot.
Yes. And so the leader of the walk carries the flag?
Not
or is that
always,
just
but quite
for
frequently when we're
recognition where you
having a
start?
big community event, there'll be a flag there, and you'll know that's us by looking around to see the flag.
Now, of course, we don't want to show up in our high heels or, plastic shoes.
No, I brought my walking shoes in. That's the one thing that's very important when you walk, is to have a really good pair of shoes so that you have support for your feet and you can hold up and walk.
Now, is this actually called a specific, like, hiking or walking shoe or boot? Or what
That's
are they
put
called?
out as a walking shoe. Some of them aren't.
A walking shoe.
Everyone
So,
wears a different type of shoe.
I see, because I would think that most people would probably show up in sneakers. Is that
There's a lot of
pretty
people
well?
in sneakers.
Sneakers, but if you really are into walking, you would get an actual walking shoe like this. It's solid as a rock. That's really good. Okay, so now we got the shoe, we got the flag. Now what do you wear?
What do you wear? Just comfortable clothing that you feel free and moving in. At nighttime, we like people to wear things that they can be seen at night, because we're walking the city streets. And cars aren't expecting a big group of people, 30 to 40 strong.
You obviously do walk on the sidewalk, don't you? You don't walk on the gutter, okay?
We walk on the sidewalk. I'm part of the early birds, and we walk the streets sometimes.
Walk the streets. If you ever want to find Kathy, just check out the streets, okay? And you have a T-shirt.
I have a T-shirt. This is our
official T-shirt.
This is our official T-shirt. It has the Walkabout International signal, and here's the feet on the back.
Okay, hold on a second. Oh, that's wonderful. Look at that. Feet all the way. Just follow the feet.
Just follow the feet right over. In fact, we want to give this to you, Rita, so you can, I hope that you'll join us on a walk, and then when we see you in the T-shirt, we'll know who you are.
Now I have to.
Right.
I have to. Art, get ready. We're going for a walk at 5:30 this in the morning.
Monday morning. I'll see you there.
Monday morning at 5:30. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I will definitely wear that, and I am making a commitment in front of God and everybody. I will definitely be on one of these walks. Now, the other interesting thing that I understand about it is that not only do you walk, of course, and you do meet some wonderful and interesting people, but there also, the guides tell you about the city and share some of the historic things about our city, which is just really valuable. Can you share something that maybe you didn't know that you found out about the city? Do you remember anything specific?
All kinds of things.
Yeah.
I've lived here almost 20 years, and every time I take a walk, I discover a new part of San Diego that I didn't know existed. There are just miles of beautiful residential areas in our city, all the north and south, and there's little hidden bridges.
That obviously you don't get to see
You don't
when you're
get to
in a car.
see, or stairways and alleys that you discover by walking. It's a real good way to really get to know even your own neighborhood.
Have you found anything unusual on a walk? Like a roll of dirty 50s? Or
No, but one morning I was walking, and there was a beer can in front of me. And I'm always a person who kind of kicks the rock, and I kicked the beer can. And I got beer on my foot. But the fellow behind me reached down and picked up a $10 bill underneath that beer can.
Oh, my goodness, underneath. I thought you were going to say a genie popped out or something to grant you 3
So it
wishes.
pays to walk.
It pays to walk. In this case, it obviously did. Let me know, who was the, oldest person that you had on a walk, as well as the youngest?
We've had them all the way from babies and strollers.
Oh, so people walk with
To-
babies with the stroller as well, huh?
All the way to up into the 80s and 90s.
Isn't that wonderful?
Just all ages.
Incredible. And, of course, some people will carry the babies on their, pouches, those
Right, you'll
carrying
have
things.
the baby papooses along.
Yeah. Is there anybody who said, that's it, I can't make it another step. This is too difficult. I've had it.
Oh, we've heard that before.
You've heard
Yes.
And what do you
some-
say to that?
Just take your time and
Breathe.
keep with it. We've had people that came to their first walk and they could just barely make it.
Uh-huh.
And then you see them 6 months later and they're a whole new person. They might even pick up their pace and start walking with a group of people that speed walk.
Oh, so you see people who start off in your basic walk and then advance into the intermediate and even possibly into the advanced.
Right, just keep going and
isn't that
growing. It's
wonderful? Now, do they also, as Eunice did, once they start walking, then they start thinking, well, gee, let's see, my body's starting to feel good walking. Maybe now I'll start looking at what I eat. Maybe I'll start eating a little differently. Because obviously when you walk, you don't want a heavy meal in you, do you? Not the greatest idea?
Not the greatest idea, but our breakfast group, we meet normally. In fact, that's why we go for 5:15 walks in the morning, is the breakfast afterwards.
Wait a minute. 5:15 in the morning. Did you get that? And what time is that over?
At 6:30, and then we go for
6:30.
breakfast.
Then they go for breakfast, and then they go to work.
Right. We all change our clothes and
Isn't
go off
that
to
how
work.
everybody starts their day? How about you, John? Is that how you start your day? Ellen, 5:15 in the morning for a walk?
The sky is gorgeous at that time of the morning.
Yes, you see things at that morning, at that hour that you never believe you would see before. That's wonderful. What then if somebody, started to walk and then they started eating good, what's the next possible thing that could happen, like with you? You then became like an instructor or a guide, right?
I walk with Walkabout. I'm on their newsletter staff, and so I work with that function, and I also help them with their publicity.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. You come out for a walk, and all of a sudden you're a walk leader and moving
so the
on.
sky's the limit.
Right.
Anything can happen from there. I imagine, too, that they'll probably get calls that wanted to expand in different cities.
We've already expanded. We have a unit in Los Angeles and also one in Phoenix, and we're looking to expand further.
That's great. So someone, like if you're traveling to a different city, you say, oh, God, how am I going to get my exercise, right? And then you can call up Walkabout and find out where they meet for their walks and then just join right in. Isn't that wonderful? Then you really get to meet different people and, from different cities. That would be fun to just go around the country and, participate in all the different walkabouts.
Because I find you're walking, you really meet a lot of nice people on the street, and they'll stop and they'll talk to you and say, gee. And now in San Diego, they recognize us. We'll have people go, hello, Walkabout, as we go by.
Oh, there are some regulars. Recognize you. Share some of the stories, like maybe any of the unusual stories that possibly have happened on a walk or people have shared with you. You remember something?
A couple of them that I can think of. One of the fellows had a series of walks known as the Thinner Me in '83. We were talking about
Thinner
losing
Me
weight.
in '83.
And
I
this
like
is
that.
adorable Andy, and he has lost about 20 pounds. And one night he almost walked out of his shorts because he'd lost so much weight.
Oh. That's great. Do you use affirmations while you're walking? Do you say things like, thinner me in '83, thinner me in '83? Or
I don't think he's done that, no.
not that. Or how about singing any songs while you walk?
We've had song walks, we've had poetry walks, we've had walks where you can't say a word.
Ooh, silent walks.
Silent walks. And
I
you
don't
see
know if I
people
could
show
go
up with Scotch tape on their lips so they won't talk.
That's probably me. That's hard. Could you walk and talk at the same time?
Oh, very
Yes,
definitely. In fact, there's a whole series, is the walk and talks.
Well, walk and talks. Oh, that is just wonderful. What's another story of somebody that interesting that has happened?
I walk with the early birds normally. This is a story on myself, but it seems like every time I lead a walk, it rains.
Oh, and the
So
rain.
I get kidded a lot about it raining. And one morning I was leading a walk and it wasn't raining, but we walked by a lawn and right at that point the sprinklers came on.
Some of the hazards of walking.
And one of the fellows back in the group, John, went, those are rainbirds, you know.
Oh, rainbirds. That's it. Well, the hazards would be like, I guess, rain. Now, would you walk with an umbrella?
We walk rain or shine.
Rain or shine, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Do you wear raincoats then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wear raincoats and umbrellas. one of our birthday walks, it was just raining, a torrent, and there were only 4 of us that did the walk.
Oh, for God's sakes. And everybody always seems to finish, right?
Of course.
Yeah, of course. So then you got instant winners because you start out, you do something, and you complete it. So it's, a really totally encompassing feeling of completion that you've accomplished something.
Right.
I think if you could just meet somebody at 5:15 in the morning, that's an accomplishment unto itself.
In fact, after you walk 100 miles, we have what we call the century patch.
Oh, what's that?
The century patch is this little insignia, which you'll see on the slides. And this is the representation of walking 100 miles. And we have distributed so far about 300 of these out. Some people have 4 and 5 of them.
Oh, let's see the slides. That's great. I think that would be interesting. And they can sew this. There's the
That's
patch.
the century patch. And I just
Do they sew it on their shirt or on a
we
jacket?
show it on
or
our
anywhere?
shirts, our fanny packs, our hats. You'll see them all over. This is a group of people walking in downtown San Diego. We do walk all over the city. You'll see us gathering on street corners to take a walk. This is Maureen. We're gathering in front of the library. She's telling her people about all the safety precautions. We try to be very aware of safety when we walk. We're starting out on a walk. You get to meet a lot of nice people. I think that's part of the real joy of it. Also, when you're walking around town, it does pay to look at the sidewalks. A lot of our city's history is in sidewalks. In fact, Maureen has been working very hard to preserve our history. This is one of those little hidden bridges I was telling you about that you discover when you get out and you walk around San Diego. This is more of just meeting people. We walk also on the beach. You never know where you'll see us. We walk at night. There's one of our flags. You may find us on a foggy morning climbing a mountain. In fact, all over San Diego.
That's wonderful. That is truly wonderful. There's no end to what could happen once you start walking.
Once you start walking, we have a big city. You can discover ends of it.
So you've obviously repeated certain walks that you've taken before.
Some of the walks that are more popular do get repeated.
That's wonderful. Well, I think I really acknowledge the people who started this because it is truly a gift to give to somebody their health, fresh air, walking, out in the sunshine or in the early morning. It's just tremendous. I would encourage everybody to get out there and find out about this. Find out about bodybuilding. And if you want to do that, why don't you write to Odd Jobs? It's Post Office Box 24024, San Diego 92124. And if you have an odd job, or you know of someone that has an odd job, be sure to let us know, and we'll have them on the Odd Job Show. Well, it was just wonderful having both of you on the show. A most interesting show. Fascinating. I've been inspired. I may start with the walking, and then I'll get to the bodybuilding. I love sports, and I love that end, but the bodybuilding,
Usual jobs are what you will find. Odd jobs are waiting for you. Go for the way that makes it work for you. Your chances are clear to make your dreams come true.